How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Wimbledon Road to Glory Career Mode. And this will be episode number 92 of this series, I do believe. I could be wrong on that one though. And before we get into this episode, I want to thank you guys for all the support you gave on the last episode. I do realise this series is very quickly dying out, and due to the FIFA 17 news and the fact that this game is getting very dead, I can sort of understand that. It is starting to get difficult to make videos on this game, but we will just continue onwards because we still have this series to finish. We will be simming a lot of games in this episode, so do expect that. But more importantly, we will be making some good signings in the January transfer window. That's my hope anyway. We need to sell some players, but I also think we need a bit of strength in depth in other places as well, because it is going to get quite tough near the end of the season, and we do need a big squad with all the quality that we can get from players, so we have the best chance of winning the Champions League. To start off the episode, we have had a bit of a stern email from Mark McLeod saying that he does want me to increase his wages. I played him a lot last season, but he hasn't really featured too much for the first team this season. But regardless, I will go ahead and offer him a better contract, and hopefully he does accept this one. And before we go into the first game of the episode, we do see that Mark McLeod has accepted his contract, which is very good. But we do now have the first game of the episode up here against Stoke City. In their last two matches, Stoke City did end up losing, so hopefully in this game we can beat them to make it 3 losses in a row. And we do end up winning 4-1 thanks to Neymar bagging a hat-trick, and also Patterson coming off the bench and getting himself a goal. I could sim this upcoming game against Fleetwood Town in the Capital One Cup, but instead I'm going to be playing it because it is away from home, and it's a bit of a risk if I do sim it. Even though it's Fleetwood, we still could lose the match. I'm still taking this competition seriously, but I will be going with quite a weekend lineup for this game against Fleetwood. We've got the return of Jake Reeves at the central attacking midfield position, and also Ben Harrison. Both of them are original Wimbledon boys from the beginning of this series, and it will be such a nostalgia trip just giving them a go in this game, seeing how they do, and hopefully they make an impact. It's a bit of a mix of youth players and also some more experienced players in there, such as Horgan, Sutar, and also Villalba up front. I'm not really looking forward to this game for the simple fact that it is snowing, and I believe that when it does snow on FIFA, it's pretty much impossible to have a first touch and pass the ball simply. Great interception again. It will be Naismith now trying to take this one forward, and he'll drive through the midfield with this ball. We can try and play it through the middle there. Really good ball here to Jake Reeves, and he does end up scoring the first goal of the game, and literally his first start for a couple of years in this career mode, and he's managed to get himself a goal. He was loaned out last season to Reading, and this season he really hasn't featured at all, but I thought this was a perfect opportunity to give the original Wimbledon boys a start in this game, and Jake Reeves has done himself no harm there by getting a goal in the opening 25 minutes of the game. It's into the middle again, cleared off the line, but it's back there to McManus, who ends up scoring and equalising here for Fleetwood. And that's literally their first real chance on goal. I'm pretty pissed off that we've conceded that, I'm not going to lie. It's really not the best punch out by Bentley. Just allowing him to have the shot there, that just really isn't good enough by our defenders. We really should have closed him down. So an end to what would have been and could have been a very good first half for us, but instead they end up scoring, Fleetwood, and going into the second half, we need to make sure that we create some more chances and that we dominate possession a bit more. And again, it will be played out wide here, and we'll try and dink it over the top for Villalba, who is going to get to the ball there, and he's got the edge of the defender. And can he score this one? Yes, he does. He ends up sneaking it in at the near post, and I think we've won this game late on now. It didn't look like we were going to get anything from the game, and it would go to extra time, but we do end up winning it late on thanks to some average goalkeeping, something that you would expect from a League One team. Ref, blow. Come on, blow for full time. Don't do this to me. Oh my god. They almost scored in the latter stages of the game there, but we do end up winning this game 2-1. A lot closer of a game than I would have liked it to be, but we are through to the next round of the Capital One Cup. And it looks like in the next round we will be facing either Aston Villa, Newcastle, West Ham, Swansea or Arsenal. But we do now have a game against Leicester City in the Premier League, which we will be simming. And we will now be simming this and skipping this game, and we do end up winning it 2-1 with Yukonin coming off the bench to get the winner. But we do now have a game against Spurs, which once again we will be simming. We don't really need to get a win in this game, but it would be nice if we do, and we end up losing 2-1. But it was going to happen at some point. We were going to lose a couple of games. That's just how it goes. And once again, we will have some player training after that, and we do end up seeing Jack Wolford going up to an 82. And it is time for another simmed game, this time against Sunderland. And they are near the bottom of the table, so I do expect us to get a win, and we do end up winning 2-1. Another Premier League game, another one that will be simmed, and QPR are really not doing too well this season. They've lost their last 3 games, and can we beat them here? We end up winning 3-2, and it's Draxler who ends up getting a hat-trick to win us the game. I mean, that's incredible. He's playing as a cam. He's not playing up front. He got a hat-trick in that game, and he's just been such a shining light in the side this season. But it is the first of the month, and that does mean that we will be taking a little look at the squad report. I was going to go for a backup centre-back in this transfer window, but I'm looking at Joe Roberts, and I think he's more than capable of providing backup. He may only be 74 overall, and he doesn't really have the best heading accuracy, but his defending attributes are very, very solid. Julian Draxler has scored 21 goals in 32 appearances, and got 5 assists as well. He's up to an 85 now. I'm absolutely shocked by his goal to game ratio though. 6 goals in 6 appearances in the Champions League, 12 goals in 18 appearances in the Premier League. This guy is world class. He is something else. Conrad Medin, one of the youth players that we gave a first team chance to in the Capital One Cup, has gone up to a 69 now. Oh, that really does suck. Adam Armstrong is starting to go down in some of his physical stats because of his injury. We will take a little look at our monthly scouting update as well, and have we got any players that we can promote? There's some good players here and there possibly. This Ricardo Sanchez guy looks quite good, so I will sign him up. We also have this guy here, Alfonso Kano, and I will sign him up as well because his potential has gone up. This is the first I've heard of this, but it looks like Gabriel Miranda wants to leave the club. The grey skies are making me depressed, boss, and I just can't do it anymore. I need to move somewhere where the weather is better for my mental health. My mental health. I need some sunshine before I go mad. Is there a doctor? Is there anyone like that around? Because I think this guy has gone completely insane. You know what? I know what will fix your mental health. I'll send you out on loan for a short-term loan, and then I'll recall you maybe 2 days later. I think you'll be fine by then. Since we are in the transfer window now though, I'm going to be making a few offers for some players. I would really like to bring Mislav Orsic back to the club. I think we sold Mislav Orsic this time last season to Ajax for something ridiculous like 40 million. And I will try and bring him back to the club now with a 20 million offer for him. I think that's the main target for this transfer window, going in for a better backup central attacking midfielder. I will also make another offer for Ravel Morrison. We could have signed him in the summer window, but we didn't do that in the end. And I will make an offer of 20 million to begin with, and hopefully they will just accept this. Gabriel Miranda is homesick, so I'm going to send him up to Liverpool on loan at Everton, and I'm sure in a couple of days time I can bring him back, and I think he will enjoy the weather once again. And we do actually have a transfer offer accepted for Ravel Morrison, which is brilliant news. I will go ahead and make him a contract offer, and hopefully he does accept it. And for Ravel Morrison's contracts, I'm just going to give him a 90 grand a week 5-year deal. It doesn't look like we'll be able to bring Mislav Orsic back to the club though, unfortunately. Ajax do want 32 million for him, and that's understandable considering they paid about 40 for him. We have a really insulting transfer offer for Yukonin from Real Betis, 13.5 million. You can just forget that. There's no way I'm selling him for that. And Barcelona have made an offer for Emilio Vilna. Maybe they see him as the next Sergio Busquets. I'd only be willing to sell him if they give me 1.6 million. Otherwise, he will be staying at the club. And we do have a contract offer accepted as well. And for the only player that I was really going to go in for in this transfer window, we've already wrapped up the deal within the first 7 days of the window. He seems like an expensive addition, but he's the only player that we needed to sign in that position. We always needed a backup central attacking midfielder, and I think he will be a very good one at that. And looking at Ravel Morrison's stats, he doesn't really look the best physically, doesn't really have the best stamina, but that shouldn't matter too much. He will be the sort of player that will be coming off the bench for the final few minutes of the game, and he does have that quality about him. He's got good ball control and dribbling, which I like for attacking midfielders, but his short passing and long passing is good enough for me, and he's got 4-star skills and 4-star weak foot. I think he'll be a very good addition, and you could argue it's an expensive transfer, but there wasn't really really anyone else in particular that we needed to sign. Jack Wolford has come to us saying that he wants to discuss wages, so I will go and offer him a new contract. He's been a player that's really grown well this season, and he's really put in good performances when I've played him as well. £9 grand a week doesn't really seem too much considering he's 82 overall, but I will give him exactly what he wants and he should accept this. But we do now have a game against Southampton in the Premier League, and if we've got any chance of catching Spurs at the top of the table, we do need to win this game. We do have Ravel Morrison making his debut in this game. Can he make an impact? No, he can't really, but we still end up winning the game, which is of course the most important thing, and it is Will Davis getting the goal in the second half. Interestingly enough, we have a transfer offer here for Joe Sears from top of the table Spurs. I'm not going to be selling him no matter what team offer me any sort of money, so we will just reject all offers here. The same goes for Daniel Bentley as well. We need him as a backup goalkeeper. We need him to fill in the void every now and then, so we will just reject all offers. I'm not really too sure that we're going to be doing too much more business in this window unless we end up selling some players, but we do see that we have a contract offer accepted from Jack Wolford, which is good to see. And Henrik Iyama will be departing the club, which is quite sad to see, to be honest. Wolves have gone ahead and made a pre-contract offer for him, and he will be going to them for next season. Not that that will make a difference anyway, because we're not playing him, and, well, we're not doing another season of this career mode anyway. Another insulting offer as well for Conan. Everyone seems to be offering under his valuation, so once again, I'm just going to reject this one. We do now have a game as well up against Manchester City, and we will go ahead and sim this game, and we will go ahead and sim and skip this game, and we do end up winning 2-1, with Conan and Solanke getting the goals for us. And we will now be simulating another training session before we end off the episode, and we do end up seeing some good results from that one, and Roberts will be at 75 by the next training session. So we do have a game here in the Capital One Cup semi-finals against Newcastle United, but I will be saving these games for the next episode, because this is where we will end off this episode of this career mode, and hopefully you have enjoyed. And if you have enjoyed this episode, make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm not really too sure if we're going to be making any more transfers in the next episode, because we don't really have the budget to do so. We've sold pretty much all the players that we do want to sell. I still could loan out a couple of youngsters, but I'm not really too sure there's any more additions we need to make. If you think we should do anything with this money that we do have in the budget, do let me know in the comments down below though. But apart from that guys, I'm going to have to leave it there, and I'll see you next time for another video. Thanks for watching.